In this video, we can see how to integrate Google Sheets in an existing Selenium framework. So to do that, there are three steps. One is you need to set up the Google Cloud Credentials OAuth 2.0 in order to access the Google Sheets API. So this credential will be like a JSON file that you need to have in your Selenium framework in the resource folder, so that your script will be the Google Sheet integration will be taking this particular JSON credential and integrate with the Google Sheets. Okay, so for that we need to do this step as first. So let me go through this document. So how to set up this Google Cloud credentials. So first we need to go to the console.cloud.google.com. There we have to do some steps. I'm logging as into my account. So here you have to create a new project. So these steps you need to follow. So I have created a test project here. So this is my project I have created. So you can create your project. And then I have to enable the API and services. In that I need to enable the Google Sheet. So if I enable only, then I can access the Google Sheet to an external source. So I have to do that. So here API and services. You have to go select on Google Sheet API and you need to enable this. Okay. So once that is done, you have to go to credentials tab. There you have to create the credentials, create OAuth client ID, and you need to configure that in the console screen, and you need to allow external user and create an app name. So let's go there. Credentials. You need to create the credential here by clicking the create credentials button. Okay, so this is the client ID I have created, so you can follow these steps. And at last I need to add scopes for this. So two scope I need here. One is the auth drive and another one is the auth spreadsheet. And in the test use pager I need to give the email ID. So from there the Google Sheet is getting integrated, and so that particular ID I need to give. So once all this has been set, you need to go to the credentials tab. Then you need to create a credentials, create authentication ID, and finally you have to download the JSON file. So this is the JSON file. You can click here and you can copy, or you can download it here. Okay, so you have to follow these steps. So this one I have referred about the auth consent screen here. Here you need to create the project name, and you need to give the email, test email, add users. Okay, so this is about getting the credentials. So finally I will get a JSON credential. So after getting that one, I need to put that in the existing Selenium framework. So this is the framework I have, and so previously I had the framework to read and write in from Excel. So currently I'm going to use Google Sheets for that. So in this particular framework I have taken copy of existing framework and changed Excel to Google Sheet. So this framework will be available in repository in my Git. You can take that one. So what I have done is the credentials of JSON, I am placing it in the resources folder. So this should be placed in the resources folder so that this framework will look at this particular JSON to integrate and communicate with the Google API sheet. So once this is done, you have to add dependencies for Google Sheets in the PAM folder in your pom.xml. So the dependencies are, okay, so here are the dependencies. You need to give these dependencies. So initially you have to create as a maven project so that you can see the resources folder, and then inside the pom.xml you need to add these dependencies to communicate with the Google Sheet. So once this is done, we can go use for the Google Sheet for integration. And so this is the function I have written for integrating, communicating with the Google Sheet. Here the read spreadsheet. So this is going to read the Google Sheet and read the number of rows and columns, and the rows that is marked with yes, that particular test cases will be taken, and this value will be provided to array. So this input will be taken by the script engine and it will start executing. So this function is to read from the Google Sheet, and so this function is to write inside the Google Sheet. So inside this function there is a write sheet, so this will find and write. So if you are communicating with the application and you want to write some values or results into an Excel and that need to be communicated to a stakeholder, so by the time you can read the values or input data from a separate Excel, and you can write the desired output into a separate Excel. So for that I have created this one. So these two functions, one is the read Excel data and the next one is write Google Sheet. I will show the Google Sheet so that you can get an idea. So this is the Google Sheet I'm going to use. So here I given as to run as. So this test case alone will get run. So here I'm passing the value 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these values you can find, you know, these values will be sent to the framework and it will be used while interacting with the application. Let's see, I put like selenium 2, so we can find this particular value is called or not. So this is the Google Sheet. I'm going to read the input and test result. So here, so when the result got completed, so what are the text needed? So that can be result in the test sheet, test result sheet here. So these two sheets will be used. So so these are the functions as I'm written. So where I'm calling this function is in the test cases sheet. The test cases Java, scriptwriter.java. I'm going to integrate this one. Okay. So here I am calling the read spreadsheet that we have written to call the Google Sheet. The existing spreadsheet is the spreadsheet ID which I'm going to pass it. So this is the Google spreadsheet ID. I'm going to pass this one. So from there the values will be read. So this is the ID. Okay. So once the value has been taken and it got executed, the results will be written here. So again I'm calling this particular function and I'm writing the data, so test results and what the data I'm going to pass, as a pass or fail, into what particular sheet I need to give, what is the sheet name. So those values, this is a sheet name, those values I'm going to pass it here so that the values will be written there. Here usually I can get the data from the application and I can pass. For testing purpose I have given like these predefined values. Okay. Okay, let us execute this one and we can check how it is working.